Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Krishna Priya. This is the Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 13th of May, and we have with us our very special guest, our friend, standing in like a champ, Will Mitchell. That's your new motto, standing in like a champ. Hi, Will. How are you doing?
Totally awesome. How are you guys? This is a
Good.
glorious day.
Yeah, you're in a park. Where are you?
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. I'll be here for about a
Oh,
week.
wow. That looks
And
awesome.
Angie asked me just a couple days ago, and I go, well, it depends. Let me try to figure it out. And the weather allowed me to do it. Otherwise, I'd be up on the mountain.
I see. My friend, my one friend that I've known my whole life that actually was also living in the Netherlands is now moving back and she's going to move to Asheville. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So,
Good town.
yeah, cool. Very cool. So, welcome and good to have you. And who are we channeling today? Do you know?
Good question.
Mm.
When asked, the people, the entities around wanted to talk about vibration, sound, toning, um, light, anything to do with vibration. But the last couple of days, especially this morning, it's just like, let's just open it up because people are feeling the energies of today
Mm.
and have questions about the energies of today. So we can do both, or we can just, see who wants to come through.
Okay, perfect. That's great. So, we'll start with I'll just say who's in the room at the moment. We have you, me, Angie, Bridget, Lily Pad, Ryan, Mavis, Wendy, and we're going to start with some blessings. So let's start with Wendy and then Lily Pad. Did you want to do a blessing? Or Ryan, anyone?
I can do it.
Okay, Angie, are you sure? Okay, Angie will do one. So we'll do Wendy, Angie, and then we'll have you do a blessing and then kind of start us off once you do the blessing. How's that?
Okay, well, we can do translations too.
And will do translations, so that will be
Yeah.
fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, Angie, sorry, Wendy, whenever you're ready, and then Angie, after the translation, go ahead and
Thank you. I tuhu i rama, ka i to tu i ana nara, ka I shiju ana nara, ka tuhu uru no o to i ana ha agi ta 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 o turu, ama I jikrani ta ta ni nyonya ni nun niara kun na apahira ta tutu i ana mai ta. Thank you. Namaste.
The energies are changing. There are waves of energies and emotions that come through all of you, including your heart. Flow through with these energies. Be one with these energies. Help to raise the vibration of these energies. These healing tones, these energetic vibrations that we send are to help you help the planet, to help others, to help everyone rise up. Namaste.
Katuha sonwa takari sa noho. Dahar sokono orasi. Mohor o ora no ania jakataka. Do ura ania. Urotu o mahayataka. Blessings.
Those of you who still doubt, it is time to believe. God lives in your soul. Your soul is immense. Let God live through you. It is time. It is time. Was there another, or am I next?
You're next.
This time thing.
Okay. I think a Time Lord's near, probably.
You asked for it. Kai karnas at kurt ur aha. Kichi art harit harishka at ur uta arwiki tonor or hai. Kashkanu ur utar irtaraska. Arta anahaskator urkushkado urkusha. This thing you see as time is under your influence. This thing you see as time is fluid, and your thoughts are helping it change. This new timeline that you are creating is the timeline of your heart, the collective hearts. Believe, change, work. Sa ayun na. Arehaka asa e tor uko sha ana arohaka tu urushko utu ursana haeti arahaska ayehikatoro to. May we all listen with an open mind and an open heart. Itur ushka ariarna aska atiriata. And I set aside my ego and personality so that I may be a clear channel. Niorohoto korashkoto. Turning this entire process over to spirit. Nihiri oro osha ayatokoraha. Do we have any requests?
Let me ask the room. Does anyone have a request for, is it better to ask the question or request for a being? Is it better to request via the question or request? We didn't take requests, so let's have a moment to do that.
Okay.
Is there any request or how would you prefer?
Anything. No. I can bring in somebody who will be the moderator. I mean, I've done it before. We can do it again.
Okay. I think
Okay.
that would be very interesting to have a spiritual moderator and can call for questions.
Yeah. It's hilarious because yeah, I'm sure he's going to receive some questions. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Now we have a few. Okay, go ahead.
Greetings. I am sushi ni ru u or sushi. I am what you call a time lord. And I have been with you before at one of your workshops. I'm here to moderate, but I can also ask or answer some questions. I do have questions for you humans.
You have questions for us?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
That would be interesting. Why don't you ask us? And welcome, by the way. Thank you for coming.
It is a beautiful now. So the first question I would like to ask is your perception of time. And feel free to I don't know what the protocol is, but I want to hear many ideas on what your perception of time is so that we can, or ask questions about your perception of time.
Okay,
because
perfect.
This I'm just curious how the humans see the time flow and time at this time.
Okay, Wendy, can we maybe turn off your camera? Let me go ahead.
Laughter
and
is
I'll
good.
answer
Laughter is
first, and
good.
you continue. She was putting on her makeup, just getting ready for her I guess time in the sun. So if I may, I will share my concept of time, and I have two concepts. Well, several. One is informative that I don't know that I completely get it, but I know it from Hinduism that they talk about the time is cyclical, and that there are, that we go through different yugas, different phases of time, and that they occur over and over again. Like, for instance, right now we're in what's called the Kali Yuga, which is the time of darkness. And we have many years of that left before we would move into a time of enlightenment. And there's many different time periods. When the whole thing starts over again, you have this sort of time of enlightenment where, you know, beings are still very close and connected to the truth of who they are. And then as the epochs change, then we get further away. And then there's a sort of renewal. That's the one understanding I understand from Hinduism. I have a concept of it, but I don't know that I feel it as much, because in the Kali Yuga, we're talking about thousands of years. Me, myself, Krishna Priya, will probably not see the end of the Kali Yuga unless I have supremely long life. I understand time to be all time now. I really do understand that we have parallel timelines, that, you know, time mixes with each other. It slows down, it speeds up. I also understand from my own guidance that all time is at the same time. And so there's different moments, but consciousness moves through in a linear way so that we can have an experience of progression. That's my understanding of time. And that's the all time at the same time in the linear experience is how I understand it the best way. And that's what I would say about it. Do you want to hear from someone else immediately, or do you want to comment?
Would you like comments?
Comments are yes. Right.
So let us talk a moment about the yugs. Because the yugs, when they were first explained to the humans, they were explained via shlokas. And it took thousands of years for the humans to be really good at verbally repeating the shlokas and the hymns. And it was a way of communicating and passing down the knowledge verbally. Because these concepts, besides oh yes, we have these ages in the human perspective correlating to the human psyche and correlating to the progression of the equinox, the elliptical, and the various energies of the stars that happen with these yugs, these phases, happen because the collective consciousness experiences the different energies in different ways, and there are waves of enlightenment. But the way this was planned out by Atlanteans and Lemurians, and this was planned out for the expansion of consciousness and the expansion of life and experience, to share it with all of consciousness. During these dark times, this darkness of the Kali Yuga, we're experiencing the darkness so that we can return to the light, so we can see the various ways of letting that light shine in us, letting our consciousness be evolved. And when I say our consciousness, your consciousness, the way you think influences everyone. The way you think influences the timelines. The way you think influences the yugs. All these parallel timelines, there are ones that require work to get back on plan because there is free will involved in each of the timelines. And all these timelines are going along with harmony and in with harmonics to converge at certain points in time. And that's what these yugs are about. They are predetermined meeting up points of harmonics, of the different vibrations. And this, in the human perspective, the ultimate yuga, Satya, Yuga is this harmonic of many, 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 many timelines. And it can be closer than you think. Or it is as close as you think, how I might put it that way. If you believe it is now, then it is now. And you can either move your consciousness to that now and it becomes the Satya Yuga, okay? Or you can stay in this and have your consciousness be here. We can talk about the consciousness, or we can bring it down to the human level. How do I do this? This is why I want your perspective, this human interest in the time. And I would like to hopefully plant seeds that you are way more powerful than you know. Did that help to understand?
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And I think it is correct that the Satya Yuga it begins within you and you can live it now. And that's why we have our sadhana, our practice, and getting centered and remembering who we are so that we are experiencing from that higher perspective. So thank you for that beautiful, beautiful answer. And that brought some clarity to what I also believe. So thank you. To pull time to you as opposed to time passing by you. Yeah.
That is you being the creator of your reality. It can happen to you or you can create it. It is your choice. There is no wrong.
Right. Would you say that it all exists? It's all existing, and by you sort of creating what you want, or pulling to you what you want, because it's even already there.
It
Would you say
is
it's already
even
there and you're
already there.
creating? It is even already there.
It is even already there. See, that is and you mentioned earlier that remembering who you are. And that's from this channel's brain, the semantics of English. There is no remembering that you need to do, okay? Because this remembering is already here. It's already in you. You don't need to remember, you just need to let it out. And the idea of remembering is this, now that thing, this other idea is far away.
So you think it's separation in that idea?
It's separation. And now it's work to get from here to there. So I need to remember that there's work I need to do. But during your meditations, are you doing any work? During your pujas, are you doing, well, you're doing work in your pujas, but in
the meditation, you're not working.
You're not. You're letting go. You're letting go of all the work and all the trying and all the doing, and you're being, and you're successful. You're now remembering, to use the separation term. You're now being the now. You're being that Satya Yuga.
Right.
You're being it. And that is the trick. Be that new timeline. Be this new concept, whatever this new concept is.
Perfect. I get that. I get it. Yeah. I like it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Wendy has a question and Bridget has a comment. Bridget, is your comment? We'll come back to you. Let's let Wendy do her question, then we'll come back to you. Comments. Perfect. But let's have Wendy go first because she had put her little cue there and she put her makeup on and everything. So ready for her.
Excellent. It is always nice to look good in this now.
It does.
Be ready for the day.
She looks very nice. So, okay, go ahead. And then we'll come to you, Bridget.
So I have had experienced timeline shifts. I've experienced traveling through quantum, through adjusting my timeline to have it more manifested to what I want it to be. And I've also experienced those gaps in time that many of us have talked about, where you've disappeared for quote unquote a time. So my question is related to, so that was my comment about time, that how I see it and being able to access quantum at any time, place. but you said that in the letting go is because I had that thought process of within the DNA that to activate it, you had to, I don't know, access it, connect to it. So I thought of it as like healing it versus releasing it to allow it. So can you help elaborate on that? Kind of the releasing it to allow it?
Those are all good words. Those are all good words. So when you, using your mind, you are already setting your intention to look to your DNA and communicate with your DNA. The releasing is just another word for letting go or allowing it to happen. And when you talk to your DNA, whether you give it instructions or you ask questions to it, or you tell it what your intention is, if you're also listening, because your DNA is conscious. So if you're listening to how it's vibrating is one way to say it, what it's saying is another way. Feel it. You will come into a knowing. If you drop your expectations and feel it, it will help guide you because it is a part of you. And your DNA, whether you're upgrading it, whether you're activating dormant segments to it, they're all a part of this box or idea of who you are. And how you see time is influenced by your mind. Okay, so how you communicate with your DNA, are you making it effortless? Are you opening yourself up to whatever it is telling you, or are you trying to command it? Which both is okay. And if you're on vibration with it, then commanding it is a normal thing to do in human speak. I mean, it's like when you push the start button on your toaster, you know it's going to get warm. Did that help?
Yes. Thank you very much. So last night I saw what I think is an elven figure between my dining room and kitchen, and I saw it kind of walk past the doorway and into the other room, and I was like, okay, did I experience that as a time moment, or did I experience that as a third eye open, seeing other dimensions at the same time?
Yes. There was a portal involved, and you were open to it, and you've been inviting these energies for some time, planning for your near future. And this is one of the energies that came through a portal that came to, okay, who's been connecting in and see the energies and wanted to check out your place to see how, if you're okay, should more of us come, was the energies. So there were timelines involved, there were portals involved, there was many different shifts involved. And you noticing or questioning, was it a timeline? Was it this? Was it that? Was it multidimensional? All those questions are your intuition trying to tell you what is the reality of it. When you have a question about it, you're spot on. Believe in it.
Yes. I walked into the other room and said, hello, welcome.
Excellent.
So more will come then?
There is a cheesy quote: if you build it, they will come.
They will
yes.
come.
And if you build it in your mind, they will come.
They will come. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Blessings to you. And I appreciate your energy today.
Thank you so much. Bridget has a question. Go ahead. Or she has a comment she wants to make. Go ahead, Bridget.
Yes, I can put my signature on what you were saying. And I want to add something. I had an insight, like when you want to go to Massachusetts or New York or Hamburg, Berlin, it doesn't matter. But you have to set your mind to go there, and either by car or train or any way you want. You have to take action to get to that place, and not do anything or as little as possible that will bring you in the opposite direction. So I find that time is something very peculiar. Sometimes it is very fast and sometimes it is very slow. And what I'm doing daily, several times a day, is that I place an orb around me, kind of, or an egg, I don't know, something like that, and that I live the timeline, the reality. I want to be there, and still more, and that I find very helpful.
Wise words, my friend. Did you know you are a Time Lord?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well, this is why you know all the things that you know, because these are all techniques. And you are one of the ones who teach some of the beginning Time Lords, and these are the techniques that you are teaching in those classes. You are amazing, and I appreciate your comments, and I thank you for your wise words and your continued work on the timelines.
Well, thanks for your words.
Are there other comments or questions?
Well, I'm going to check with Angie. Angie, did you have anybody in the YouTube that had a question or comment?
Okay, yes. Let's see. We've got Muslim people in this couple of years speaking about Muslim Mahdi appearance. His name Nasar Muhammad al-Yamani, and he is getting popular. What masters think about him? Thank you.
So let me attempt to understand. So there's this person.
Muslim people, yeah.
Muslim people. No, this person that has appeared and is becoming popular.
Yes.
And what's this person's name?
Mahdi.
Mahdi?
Nasar Muhammad al-Yamani.
Al-Yamani. And so I know nothing of this individual, and neither does this channel, because people become popular and on the human sphere, and they can become popular in the spiritual realms, they can become popular in the political realms, they can become popular in the realms of normal society, and they don't necessarily influence the timelines. I can go check to see if there's anyone else that's here that can answer questions about that. Everything I can tell is that there are ebbs and flows of the popularities of people, and this a normal happenstance of humanity and society.
Okay, we have one other question. It is, will the solar flash be experienced as an individual event or in a collective event? And am I assuming that physical contact with ETs will be during this solar flash? Yes or no?
That is an interesting question, because there are many timelines where that is true, and there are many timelines where it is not true. So let me tap into the timelines where it is true. So many of the timelines, there is a very big collective experience that is happening because of these. And some of them are ET related, and the ET experience that people will have isn't necessarily based on the solar flash as this person called it. This flash is a disruption in the human detection, all the computer electronics, and ET contact can happen outside of breaking the rules of engagement of the detection. But I guarantee you that anybody who's in Gertner is not going to even cross that line, even though that they can't be detected. There will be other races who can, and it'll be very difficult for Gertner to detect the alien races who do not. Let me tap in some more. There is more information here. You will have a major experience if you allow it. I encourage you to gather a group together and start a C5 protocol during the event to see what your collective can do, your small community. It does not matter if it's 2 or 3 or 5, but if you can get more than that, where you slowly raise your vibration and you set out your intention to communicate with those ETs, the aliens. There are various races who are willing to communicate during this event and be more present. And there are races of Gertner that are willing to communicate and not necessarily be physical, but they can bring you closer, depending on what your intention is during this solar flash, as you call it. Does that help?
And
I don't think
Okay.
that was from YouTube.
I think that was from YouTube. The question from Angie. But she's had to step out for a second. She just messaged, so I'm going to assume it helped, and then we'll get back with her. There's a question from the Maveth, which I'll read, that says, if a creator being is a young human and they have a great soul mission, what should they look forward to in the future?
I can answer that question as a Time Lord, or I can bring in another creator being who can help, if that is preferred.
Maveth, do you want to comment? Yes, creator being, please.
Excellent. But first, my perspective is that tap into your essence as that creator being and tap into the possibilities of it. And if you think that way and you engage that way, that is one way to bring it to you quicker in your concept of time. Okay, let me bring it in. Greetings. I am Kira. Kira, you may call me.
Welcome, Kira.
I am a creator being, also a blue avian, as you know them. Can we repeat the question? I have the vibration.
Sure. The question is, If creator being is a young human and they have a great soul mission, what should they look forward to in the future?
So the first question I have for you, using your words, how do you feel when you think about your words, great soul mission?
Because this person's typing, let's just give him a moment to respond.
Yes, yes. Because that is key.
He feels that there's a lot to learn.
That was the vibration I was getting from you, is that at times it can be overwhelming, that there is this great soul mission that needs to happen. Yes, I feel it. Yes, that it can be very, very intimidating. What am I supposed to do? It's just like your eyes are big, and it's just like, what? That is the way that a human will think. Relax, breathe. It's just an idea. Let me put it across that way. It's just an idea, okay? Okay, you're a creator being. Well done, cool. Is it a name tag? What is it? Are you gonna put a label on your forehead? I'm a creator being. What does it mean to you? These are all questions for yourself. They're not really questions for all your friends. They're not questions for anybody else. You chose this. As a creator being, you chose to be a human. And you chose to be told the knowledge that you're a young creator being with a great soul mission. Very cool. That is a daunting task. That is a daunting task. How can I go to the smallest form of consciousness in the most dense reality and try this creator being thing out in one of my first experiences as a creator being? Yes, that's biting off a lot. Yes. But you can do it. You're a creator being, okay? My advice is for you to forget everything that the humans taught you, okay? Breathe, calm down. Ask your creator being self. Ask and listen in between the breaths. Ask your creator being self, how can I do this? Remind your creator being self that you're having a human experience, that this thing called time is more real for me as a human than you as a creator being. Help me bridge the gap. What are the things I want to do? What does my creator being self want to do? And what does my human self want to do with this knowledge? Maybe write down some steps that your human mind thinks that it will take to do this great soul mission. Small steps. Put in one step halfway in between first, and then two more, halfway in between those marks, and then more halfway in between those marks. And maybe write some things down as to what might this be. And now you have a small plan. Okay, this is how it can be done. And to bring in the idea that Su Shi brought in with this idea of time and bringing in this age of truth, that's a daunting task, especially during this, what people believe is a time of darkness. How do I, a creator being, get the collective consciousness, all the humans, to be on the same page and get into this Satya Yuga, this age of enlightenment? How do I get the consciousness to do this? How do I get the peoples to do this? That's a big task, but it's an easy task for a creator being. It is an easy task for a Time Lord. It is just another thing. So tap into your creator being self. Ask the questions. Help to bridge the gap between the creator being and the human being. There are questions that you can ask channelers, but there are questions that you can ask yourself. You need to feel them. Each of the steps that you're writing down, you need to feel them, whether you believe that this mind and this creator being believe is the truth. You have to get on the same page and agree that this is your truth of your path. Because if your humanness isn't going to agree with it, it's not going to get done. No matter how much your creator being says. Trust me, your creator being inside you is not disappointed in you. Your creator being, no matter how much you accomplish in this task, whether you accomplish the whole thing or just a small part of it, when you're done with this task, no matter how much you have accomplished according to your human mind and your human experience, both aspects of you will laugh about it and say, wow, that was a pretty cool experience. And I fell off my bike a million times. I fell down and I got back up, and I fell down and I got back up. This is how you bridge the gap. And as a creator being, you will learn more and more and more techniques as to how to create as this human and how to move beyond the limitations of being human as a creator being. And then once you start to learn that wisdom, you can start teaching classes to the other humans who either think that they are creator beings, or that want to be creator beings, or that just want to learn how to manifest better or create a better life. And you can teach those types of classes if you choose to, if that is a part of your soul mission, this great soul mission. One thing I'd like to leave you with is that the words great soul mission carry that emotional weight. If you just choose it as this is my soul mission, the idea of that is a lot easier. The idea of that is, okay, now it's simple tasks. If you remove the stress from the situation, then it becomes, how do I do this? Okay, I agree with my reality. Then what steps am I going to take now? And this is bringing in also what the other Time Lord has said, that she puts a bubble, an orb around herself, that she looks to that future and she finds ways of doing it, but she also allows it to work. All these things are great advices with different perspectives. I hope that helped.
I think that was a beautiful answer. And he said, that's very helpful. Thank you. Love and light. Okay. Bridget has a question. And just for the new people that have come in, we are taking questions for creator beings, for Time Lord, and any other question that you may have. And will bring in the being that can answer that question should a different one be necessary. So go ahead, Angie. Go ahead, Bridget, and ask your question. And I believe this is for the Time Lord.
Yes. Well, now you got me curious. What does the Time Lord do?
I'm sorry, there's a disturbance in communication here.
Did you not hear the question?
What does the Time Lord
One
do?
second.
It
Just
is
one
very
moment.
difficult to hear anything.
Uh,
There is
it
Just give him a moment. Give him a moment, Bridget. Just one moment. There might be some interference.
let us move to a new timeline, because there is electronic interference. Let me do this too. If someone were to continue talking, then I can see if the disturbance.
Okay. So Bridget, why don't you go ahead and ask your question again and see if he can
Yeah.
hear you.
Now you got me curious, and I'm wondering, what does the Time Lord do? Please tell me.
Let me try this.
You might have to ask George. Let him say when he can hear you.
Maybe if I hide the camera, they're saying something about shallow bandwidth. How about this? Can someone talk again, please?
Shall we try again? Can you hear me?
No, I cannot. I can. It's very difficult to hear.
Karen, can you say something, please?
Well, can you hear me, Will, or can you hear me, Sushi?
Yes, loud and clear.
So maybe it's and come back in and try that. Not you, Bridget, but Will. If he goes out and comes back in, it might reset his sound in his system.
Okay, so they have called me back. This is Will. What's going on here?
Can't hear.
That is correct. So you want me to jump out and come back in?
That might be the only thing to do because we're
Okay.
all hearing and seeing, but you're the one that's having the technical stuff.
Let me try that.
Okay.
Let me try that.
Great. Thank you.
Let me disconnect the audio for.
Yeah. Okay. Angie, are you back? Okay, I'm just going to jump over to YouTube real fast. See what's shaking in YouTube. If anything's going on. Okay, we're just waiting for Will to reboot or whatever he's going to do. Reboot. There, I'm Canadian suddenly. You say boot. And you're okay. All right. Okay, Mavis, you're off. Okay, have a great weekend. Thank you. Angie's thing is up, but I don't see Angie or hear Angie. So here's Will. He's back. There he is. Mr. America. Okay.
How about now?
Can you hear now?
Oh, that's glorious.
Okay. Bridget,
Technology. I also did some healing work too. So
perfect. Okay, Bridget, go ahead. Now you get to answer your question like you've never asked it, not even once. So ask it.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Okay.
You got.
So it's still Will here. So hang on. But you can ask the question. I mean, he's here, but.
Yes, I would like to know what a Time Lord does, except envisioning the timeline that is most preferred and living it. Or maybe that's all. I don't know.
Greetings. So as I heard, the question is a Time Lord, what do I do? So the good news is, yes, you are already doing it. And as a human, the part of your consciousness that is the Time Lord, that is involved in many, many things, with timeline correction, with bringing the vibration to various timelines. Your positivity is the easiest way to say it, is that when you go to a new timeline, and you do it so effortlessly, you just see it as, it's like I veered at a fork in a road. That's it. Oh, okay. And you're bringing your positivity there. That is one of the joys in your life. You are one of the joy-based Time Lords. So you're jumping timelines and you're correcting the timelines is because you're bringing your joy there. That is one of the effortless paths of Time Lord. And so I see why it's more difficult for you as a human to grasp the idea as a Time Lord, because you're doing it so effortlessly. And your experiences as a human don't, there are times that you might see, oh, it doesn't quite click, where you didn't think, how did that happen? And those are times where you weren't always in your joy. So you felt a jump. When you're truly in your joy, this timeline changing is so effortless for you, or the experience that the human aspect of you sees. Does that help? There's a whole bunch of a non-answer for a human, but I think
it helps a great lot. Thank you very much. And I want to add, my biggest chore seems to be to rid myself of all the programming from my education, my parents, my upbringing, church, everything, to get free from that programming, how I should be. And it is so great to do it. But yes, this is, I think, my chore. Could you say yes or no to that?
well, yes, that you are programmed that way. And another way to look at it is, yes, but you also chose that programming.
So that I can rid myself of it, I think.
You can think of it as that you're ridding yourself of it.
Yes.
Okay. But at this point, I would encourage you to view it as it's there. It's just like anything else. It's just like all the timelines that you're choosing. It's there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it is in your mind and in your awareness. What are you going to do? Are you going to allow it to influence me, or are you going to draw on it when you start talking and when you start becoming in your joy? See, that's the whole thing for you, is that when you're living your joy, it doesn't matter what they said, because you're listening to your Time Lord self, you're listening to your heart, and you're living your joy. And that's the biggest lesson to many other of the humans that are having the same types of experiences, that the path of joy is effortless. It's joyful. And shedding the programmings, because when you say it the other way, it seems like a lot of work. I need to shed myself of all the programming. Well, yes, that's one way of saying it, but you can also say it as, it's more joyful when I'm listening to my heart and doing the things that cause my joy and bring out my joy than how they tell me how I have to live. I have to do this, I have to do that. Okay. Does that help?
100%, yes. They are just, it's not a heavy weight on me. It's just that sometimes there comes an interfering thought or concept, and usually I send it away again quite easily. So what you say was very helpful. Thank you.
Yes, and that's perfect, because that is the ultimate human experience there. You get a thought and you don't agree with it. Your heart, your time lordness, your greater beingness doesn't agree with the thought. Don't give it any more attention. Just say, no, this knows, that does not know. It's not me. And it can still be there because this is a part of this world of contrast that everybody signed up for. So, but you seeing it, noticing it, is a part of your reinforcement of your path of joy, your being a Time Lord, and you directing your timeline to not that, to this. It's as simple as not that in this.
You're speaking my soul. Thank you. I feel very connected.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay. Ange, can you take some questions from the chat or should I do it?
I can do it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just give us a moment if you can. Angie's going to get some questions. I saw a
Yes.
few of them over there.
Can you speak on human relationships and breaking up? What do they teach us? I just broke up and don't know what to do. I want us to get back together. That's from George G.
George G. Do we want a Time Lord to answer that? Because as a Time Lord, there are many requests for reconciliation timelines. Would
Maybe
you
if you
like?
can give the perspective from a
Yes.
Time Lord and some other being as well, that would be relevant to have two.
Okay, well, Raphael is here too. And there's a songwriter here. So let me tap into your energy. Please send out a spike. I believe you're in the YouTube chat.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The Time Lord perspective of this. There are several timelines where you do reconcile. Yes. Yes. And clearly you do not have closure. Do you believe the other person has closure? Have you had a conversation? Was it an abrupt breakup? Was it, besides that, it's an emotional breakup? Did you listen to the other person? Okay. And besides, yeah, we're going to bring in Raphael at this point, because I'm going to wait for the other two responses from Raphael, and I don't have the name of this songwriter. Ah. Okay. And then I'll help with bringing in the timeline that you prefer. One moment. Blessings. This is Raphael. Much love to all of you. And to the one with whom I am connecting, I feel your sorrow. I feel your pain. For all of you who are experiencing a breakup and a longing, I feel for you, and I'm sending out healing and loving and compassionate energies to you. This is one of the most difficult things as a human to go through. I invite you to connect with my heart at this point, and I invite you to connect with the healing energies of God. Feel all of your angels around you, hugging you. Feel me and the other archangels around you, hugging you, sending you the healing energies, healing your heart, healing your longing, healing your loss, your grief. God is aware of your suffering and wants to remind you of the love that is there for you. To reconcile with anyone, you must first reconcile with yourself and reconcile with God. You must learn to feel the love in your heart again. Yes, this other person brought joy to you. It made you feel a certain way. It made you feel alive. Yes, yes, yes. That is a part of the human experience. We encourage you to listen to both your heart, to God, to the healing energies, and to listen to what the other person said during your relationship, during your breakup, and for those of you who are experiencing the death, the loss of a loved one through death. You can remember, but they chose to move on from this physical life. I encourage you to remember the good times. Same with those of you who are experiencing a human romantic breakup. Remember the good times, but also don't be jaded by or confused or distracted about what it really was. They chose to leave for many, many, many reasons. What is their truth and what you heard or what you felt could be different things. Effective communication will help you resolve that difference. If they have just simply moved on, then maybe it's time for you to move on when you're ready. For now, it is time to grieve. If you want to get back together, have you tried reaching out? How much time has passed? How do you feel? How does the other person feel? What is it that you really want? What did you get out of this relationship? Are all types of questions you need to ask yourself. Reaching out in desperation is not going to serve you. Reconnecting out of desperation is not going to serve you. Reaching out from a healed heart will always serve you. reaching out from confusion and despair, I encourage you to reach out in positivity, knowing more about yourself and what you want, and knowing about how you feel. That is because if you can't communicate effectively outwards about what you want of the relationship, then you cannot listen effectively on what the other person wants, because that's the only way the two people will get together and stay together. There are many parts of the human aspect and the human experience that is you can't put words to and you can't put logic to, because people just feel it, like their hands fit together. And when you're in proximity, it just feels right. That is that feeling of souls coming together. But if that other soul does not want to be there, or if the human aspect of it has other things in their mind that they want to accomplish, or other things, no matter how much it feels good when the two souls are together, the respect has to happen also. I'm not sure if I'm helping to answer your question.
I
You
would
need
say
to feel
yes.
it.
I
You
would
need
say
to
yes.
feel it. Hopefully, feel the healing first. Feel the love that is in your heart. And then think about all the true love aspects of this relationship. And when you put energy into those aspects, those true love aspects that were really true in your heart and that you believe was true in their heart, the attention you put to that, if it were true, if it really was true, that is going to draw them in. That is going to bring, that is your attraction point to them. Remember what attracted them to you in the first place. Be that vibration if you want to reconcile. But I encourage your mind to also engage. Do you really want this? And ask your heart, do you really want this? Are you coming from a point of desperation, or I need this? Or are you coming from, I feel expansive when this happens? And I hope they feel expansive when this happens. And because that attraction point of two souls that are really, really in sync and there, that is the beauty of what this life is.
Thank you so much. I just have one other question. It is, gotta go back up. What does a light teacher do? A person who's in service to the light and is here to teach about it? As a question.
You are the light. And as a light being and a teacher of the light, ask the light. The light will never, never guide you incorrectly. Your heart is made of light. Your being is made of light. God is made of light. God made only one thing, and that is the light, the true light. And this true light is love, is truth. It is as simple as that. You teaching about the light, your mind and your words and your heart, all of them must be light. Bring in the light, bring in God. When you bring in the light, you are bringing in God. Whether you see the light as God, or whether you see the light as just light, or I help people feel lighthearted and light. It's where they're putting down their depression, and they're putting down their despair, and they're putting down their doubt, and they're putting down their illusions, and they're putting down their grief. When they're putting those things down and they're choosing a life more of joy and more of advancement, more of focus on their tasks. Those, when you're encouraging other light beings to be the light, to follow their passion, to follow their heart, to follow their idea of the true light, though this is what a light worker does. It is not what is written, and thou must follow this canon. You must follow these steps, and you must follow these rules. This is not God's law. God's law is light and love. That is God's law. Be the love, be the light. I love you no matter what. God loves you no matter what. The light loves you no matter what. To be a teacher of the light, one must adopt these principles, think these principles, talk these principles, and act on these principles. And when you don't think like that, and when you don't speak like that, and when you don't act like that, don't punish yourself. Forgive yourself and forgive others. And take a step into the light. Take a thought into light and love. Take words into light and love. Take action into light and love. Don't spend a lot of time on the forgiveness aspect, or I did this wrong, or punishing yourself, or that takes you out of the light. When you punish yourself, it takes you out of the light. Think of the light that brings you into the light. Speak of the light that brings you into the light. Act in the light of the light that brings you into the light. And you become the light. And you teach the light by being in the light. Does that answer your question?
That was a YouTube question. So, but it definitely answered, in my eyes, what just be. Thank you. No questions, no more questions in YouTube.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Much love.
Much love.
Okay,
Sushi again.
perfect. There is a question for you. It's from Wendy. Wendy, are you back or not?
I'm here. I was just concerned that because we're on the road, I might get disconnected.
Okay, well, go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Sushi. So the question that I had, thank you so much for your assistance again. The question that I have is that my daughter is due next week, and I am hoping to be, or have assisted her to the timeline where the baby who has been breech for the majority of her last trimester moves into the timeline where she's in the proper, where he is in the proper birthing direction, so that we don't have to, or they don't have to go through a breech birth. Reason being is that I will be out of country and really unable to assist her.
Yes. So this is a co-collaboration of 3 consciousnesses. More than that, actually, but there are 3 primary consciousnesses involved. There is yours, your daughter's, and the child.
Yes.
The child is the major consciousness in this decision. This is the child's choice.
Yes, I know I've asked if he would be willing to make the change, but again, I know that it's his free will. Doesn't hurt to ask.
No, it does not hurt to ask, because that was one of the things that I wanted to mention, is that letting go and letting it happen is a part of arriving at the timeline. Once you put the cake in the oven, watching it isn't going to help. The oven is going to do all the work, and the ingredients are going to do all the work from then on. There's nothing more for you to do. You have set your intention. You have focused on the timeline of the solution you wish to. And as a human, okay, as a human, being able to focus on this linearity of time is one of the features of being human. And as a more expansive human, all these timelines are happening at the same time. And there is one where this child, and there are like 10 different names that this child has chosen on those 10 different timelines. And your child, this child has chosen it already. And you're preferring a timeline over here. You can go to that timeline. To focus on that timeline, you can arrive at the timeline where your daughter and the child, all three agree. And that timeline does exist. Okay, you can arrive at that timeline where there's healthy and it's happy, and it's still this child's free will. Okay, because this child is still determining this web of timelines that it wishes to create. This is a very interesting epic child. I know you have connected to this child.
Yes.
Very, very, very powerful indigo crystal child, as you humans like to call them. Coming in with many, you already know many of the energies that this child has.
Yeah. Even his oldest brother has experienced his energies.
Nice. I would encourage you to encourage. Is your daughter open to all the things that you do?
Yes.
Excellent.
And I have, yes, I've worked with her with some Reiki already to be peaceful about whatever the decision is.
Yes, she is communicating with her child, and she is already receiving information, and there's much of that she's not, that her human brain hasn't processed yet, but she can. If you can encourage that, then she will communicate more effectively with the child. And then when the child actually comes out and starts being human, it is easier to interact with the child then at that point, and to understand that this child has a mission, and this child needs to expand and explore and be themselves. While teaching the human things, it's also teaching okay, you are on your path of expansion, and it's not my path, and I can encourage you to find your path, little human, little being. Little being. I like that, little being.
That's cute.
And to explore and play in life. But the rules of this human society, not getting up in the middle of when it's time for school, getting in the middle of class and time to dance. If the child continues to do that, we need to find another school for the child then, so that the child can do that. Interesting possibilities for this child up ahead. There are many timelines, and where this little consciousness decides to focus will be amazing. I hope that helped.
Thank you. It does very much so. And I will encourage my daughter, and blessings to you for your expanded information and opening my mind to additional wisdom as well. Thank you. Blessings.
Blessings.
Okay, beautiful. I think that that's all. Do you have any more questions in the chat, Angie? I think that's all the questions that we have at the moment. Maybe if there's another beautiful being that would like to come in, or if you have something you'd like to share with us, that would be fantastic.
There's a lot of chatter, but not really any questions. One of the
Okay.
things that are like going back and forth in here is about solar flares. The first contact being moved up, and it was supposed to be in 2023, but now it's supposed to be in 2025, 26. So basically, I'm not sure if you want to speak on that. It is basically it's the solar flares that as the next big event.
I think they're calling it a solar flash, not flare.
Flash. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Solar
As an
flash.
event.
As
And they
an
were saying the
event.
solar flash and the first contact timeline seem to be in the same time, the same year predictions. So is there any comments on that?
So I have several beings here. Helios is here to talk about solar flares in general and the flash. If we want to bring in Helios, and if we want more of first contact, there are people that are really raising their hands, but they don't actually have authority to speak on it.
Okay. Let Ryan has a question. Let's let Ryan, and then whomever you feel, Sushi, whoever you feel to bring forward, Helios would be fantastic. But let's see what Ryan's question is, and then we'll come back to this if that's okay. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hello, greetings. Not sure if you can channel Merlin or not, but if you can, that would be great. But if not, no problem. But I have two questions. My first question is about spiritual development. Right now, I can channel, the beings in my consciousness, but I'm still going through a spiritual transition. So my question is, when will I be able to channel any being from anywhere? And that's my first question. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, Merlin is here. So if you'd like to speak with
yes.
Merlin.
Yes, please.
And if you want to speak with a channeling coach, okay, there are many people who channel in your community, Hucolo, and I can bring in someone. There are many here who
you can bring in Merlin. Merlin knows about my situation since she was my last spirit guide.
Excellent, excellent. Greetings, everyone. Beautiful day to you. This is Merline Spectros. How may I help?
Yes, this is Merlin, correct?
Yes.
I've never heard of that reference, but yes, I was wondering, as you know me because you're my last spirit guide, and my question is about my spiritual development in terms of channeling. Right now, obviously, you may already know, I can only speak within channel the beings in my consciousness, and my question is, when will I get to a point where I can channel any being anywhere?
Okay, so you are open to channeling a being anywhere, that's the first step. Being open to it is the first step. Allow the progression, the natural progression as you evolve in this, because you're doing well, okay? You're already getting the messages.
Right.
And you're already recognizing that you're getting the messages. Those are all great steps. And you're recognizing the feeling when you're getting those messages. Don't think too far in the future.
Okay.
One step at a time is the easiest way to take care of it. And think about what you need to know now. Allowing other beings to come in, great, okay? But are you Have you paid attention to my messages about grounding yourself and staying in this physical plane? Because there are times that you leave your physical body and you're just off, and you are exploring, but it's harder to be a human that way.
Right. That's true.
So when you need to be grounded when you're channeling, and you need to decide what types of energies you want to bring in, because
Well, I wanted to channel your energies, my own aspects, Gilgamesh and other aspects of me, things like that.
yes, I understand that, but there are times that you just want the information,
That's true.
and I would only trust sources that feel good to you, because having the information, there are many beings out there that will then provide the information, and there's always a catch when they provide the information. Okay.
Right. I know what you're saying.
Hey, but one of the ideas is a gatekeeper. When you wake up, have you been listening to my morning routine for you?
No, I don't know if it's blocked, they're blocking it, or
Okay, so I'm asking you to develop a morning routine. When you
Okay.
wake up, greet me.
Okay.
Greet the day. Okay. As an advisor, each day is an opportunity for you to gain information, to do things, to channel, to be more magical. Okay, I am a guide for you because you are magical, because you call on the magic. You want things to happen more magically for you.
Right.
And so bring in, I am a being of positivity. I am a being of you can do it. I am a being of one of the original beings here on the planet.
I know.
This is my home as much as your home. And the energies of the earth are here for you. Each of you humans, even though I'm talking to you specifically, I'm talking to all of you who are listening. If you hear this, this is relevant for you. Every cell of your body is made up of what this earth is made of. The magic of this planet is inside you. Greet this magic every day. Engage in this magic every day. Ask this magic. This magic is of the light. This magic is positivity. This magic is beyond the normal human earth magic. This is the white magic. This is the magic that is bringing in more and more that of this positivity. This is going to take humanity places and shift timelines and make trees grow quickly, that channel. If you have not taken any of the white magic classes, maybe consider doing that. Greeting the day, and greeting the day with the magic and what can I do today? Ask yourself, what can I do today? And then once you wake up, if you maybe write down some of your dreams, because you're talking to yourself in your dreams. Maybe write down some of that plan. And as soon as you wake up, this human veil is not really there. You can still see beyond the veil of what all aspects of your being, of this human body, have been talking to you during the night. Write it down or make a plan, draw a picture, whatever it is that you do to communicate with yourself. Then once you have established an intention for the day, because as a magician, your intention and your purpose are your main tools. And then start creating your day based on that intention. when you greet everyone, when you do things. And then this is your protection bubble. You don't need protection, but you do need protection. It's the human mind that needs the protection. It's the engaging in the magic is your protection bubble, is this orb that this other person is creating. It is this well-being of your inner being that is being around you, and you grant it permission and you set your intention for it to be there. Now, nothing can get to you but the truth. Now, nothing can get to you that cannot serve your highest good, and nothing cannot get to you unless it is for you. You have engaged your intention that I am open to receive everything that is for me today. That is how you make your day magical. That is how you open yourself up to receiving the information and channeling the information and channeling new beings. If a name pops in, it is a being who wishes to channel. If you are a channeler, it is a being wishing to channel. Ask, hello. They have reached you because they have gotten through the magic then at this point, which means they are just as magical or more magical in your human perspective of it. They resonate with you on some level, and there is a harmonic convergence of some level that you then can interact with them. When you hear a name, ask questions, engage. And for those of you who still are in demand of answers, regardless of who they're from, be forewarned that this desire for the information is it controlling you, or is it a thirst for information? Is it a demand for information, or is it a thirst? Is it making your heart sing, or is it I want it, I want it, I want it? The I want it is going to take you down the wrong path. The it makes me sing is going to take you down the right path. Does that
Yes,
answer?
that was a great answer. You're an expert manifester, and I'll just continue asking you to stay with me and send me messages and helping me manifest the future I want to have. So thank you very much.
Yes, you are doing really, really well.
Thank
Okay,
you.
just keep listening and keep breathing and keep enjoying what you're doing, and don't doubt yourself. That
Okay,
doubt will go away in time.
good, good.
Okay,
All right.
and
Thank you so
every
much.
time you do something right, pat yourself on the back. Okay,
Good
encourage
advice.
yourself.
Thank you. Blessings, and stay and continue being with me. Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you so much. Lilypad has a question. Go ahead, Lilypad.
Hello, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings to you too. Thank you for being here. My question is, who is? I think you kind of answer some of my. Who is or what is the golden light? Because when I trying to, I guess I think I heard that or read somewhere that you call the white light around you, but somehow I kind of go to the golden light. So I was wondering about that. I guess I'm asking why you say protection. Maybe that's what it is.
Yes.
Maybe give me
Yes.
some insight about the difference between, because someone told me no, the white, and then but I kind of go to the golden, and I say, okay, I want
Yes.
both.
Well, okay, again, I am Merlin or Merline Spectros. So I'm going to give you my perspective of it. Okay. Sushi has another perspective and can also bring in somebody from the golden light if you prefer.
Okay. Oh, yes, please. That would be great
Okay.
as well. Both, anything.
Okay. So your core vibration, what you believe And because you resonate with the golden light, keep calling on the golden light. Your heart, your original incarnation point is from the golden light. They're just different ways of looking at the rays of God, okay? Or the rays of creation, however you want to see it. And we can split up the rays of creation into different colors. And it is all different aspects of this creation, of this magic of creation. And golden just is one aspect of it. You can derive your protection. Your golden light is pure creativity. Okay, so creativity is your inspiration point. And because you're listening to what you resonate with, you're tapping into the correct aspect of the golden light. Okay, it's not just, oh, I'm going to call on the golden light because other people are telling me I need to call on the golden light. You believe and resonate with the golden light. So that is your sphere of, that was your incarnation point, is one way to say it, is that you came to earth from the golden light as creative energy to have your experience, and that is where you feel is your home, and that is where you feel is where your inner being is most happy. And it does not matter the color of benevolence. It does not matter the color of joy. Joy has no color, and God has no color. Creativity has no color. Calling in the light or white, and only in the human eye perspective of visible light does white mean all aspects of these other colors of the light all combined. That's all it means. So this is why beings of higher consciousness will use the terms of color when talking about the light. Okay, and when we talk about the light, we're talking about the true light of purity, and not the true light of you need to do this, because everybody thinks that they are right and that the other people are wrong. And if you're pointing a finger, guess what? You're not in the right. Okay, if you're hugging, you're in the right now. Does that answer your question about the golden light?
Yes, I think it's I think I'm just trying to follow a human. Some people say that, you know, the white light, and I think I'm just trying to watch and see people and what they say, and they advise me, but it's silly to me that there is gold light, white light, green light. It sounds silly to me in my head, but I just go along with it, I guess, because I don't know. And I think it might help. But not recently, but it's being golden. So I see me, my head is making this up because it seemed like so I was kind of confused.
Yeah,
I'm
and confusion. I liked your word silly, because this whole human experience is silly.
Yes.
Because everybody puts too many words on what it is. Okay, if this golden light, if you seeing it as golden, that's because we all have filters of what we choose to see, what we choose to create. That is a part of the human experience. Even ascended masters still have filters. They still have preferences on what they wish to create. And they're choosing by these filters, they're choosing not to see things. Okay, that's really what a filter is doing. I'm focusing my awareness on only seeing these things. And that's a part of the creative process, whether we're using magic or we're just being consciousness, because all the energies, all the vibrations are around you at all the time. And what you see as a tree is just collection of energy. Okay. And once you see it that way, then the magic aspect of it just is, okay, how do I either change the energy, or how do I create a new filter to see it not as a tree, but to see it as a bush or a deer or a mountain? What is the filter I need to create?
Thank you. And do you give me any advice when I'm trying to meditate okay, well, still in my mind, the golden calm, and it's not that I don't think I call it, but now I accept it, whatever it wants, in my mind. I don't channel, I don't do light language. I think I enjoy, part of me enjoy seeing the others doing the light language, talking about their creators, or this one is this light, or I don't know. But but I think I still need to go to meditation because something is calling me, even I don't channel, or maybe I'm blocking my channeling. So any advice,
Yes.
guidance, insight,
Yes.
what can I do, please? Or also any advice from the golden lights as well?
Okay. So let me bring in the golden light.
For all of us, not only me, all of us.
Greetings. Greetings. Beautiful day to you.
Thank you for coming.
We are Aura. This is our first time here. One moment. We are what you call golden light. We are a collective of photons as you see it. And we are a collective consciousness. What is the question? Advice for?
Oh yeah, if you can, no, I was saying before that for some reason I am thinking about when I'm trying to meditate, surround myself with the golden light, and I notice probably I have feeling some kind of energy that I feel like to expand the golden light through the planets. That's what I feel like, or bring.
Yeah.
So can you can you give me any advice as well, how to utilize or get more connected, or why the golden light come to my mind, and how can I work with it? I don't do channeling. I said before, I don't do any light language, or maybe I don't pray. I just go sit down and breathe in, breathe out, and just go with it. And the golden light is the photons. I like the word photons, comes through. Thank you. So can you give any advice to us, to the planet, to the humanity?
Yes.
I'd love to do that, and give me advice to advance, or guide me to that, to any my path.
I feel your vibration. We feel your vibration. You are one of us. You came from the golden light, and your consciousness is a part of us. We are part of the creativity. And when you call on the golden light, you are calling on the protection, the filter, the request for more golden light. It is very difficult. Continue doing so. And when you meditate, when you just sit there and call in the golden light, that is a form of prayer. Prayer is you becoming at peace, you being the golden light. The golden light is simply another word for love and peace and harmony, a structure of the universe. These parts of the photon were the first created and explored. That's all that means. In this concept of time, in this matrix, that's all it means. It doesn't mean that it's more pure. It doesn't mean that it's greater or less. We are focused on creativity and
Correct.
what can we do? And when you protect yourself with golden light, you are setting up so that all the other energies are reflected away. That means the negativity, the other aspects of other forms of this human experience is the easiest way to say it. And when you meditate, when a thought comes in, thoughts come in all the time. It is part of your human experience to think. Humans think of the craziest things at the craziest times. Laugh at it. Laugh at it. Don't take it so seriously. What makes you happy? What makes you peaceful? And when you're if you're intending to sit down and meditate, or if you're intending to heal, or if you're intending to create, allow yourself to focus on that task. And when a stray thought comes in, allow it to go away. Return your focus to what you're doing. If you're meditating, return your focus to your breath. Return your focus to your visualization or your healing or your mantra or your heart or the golden light. Whatever it is that you're seeing or whatever it is you're hearing, whatever it is you're feeling when you sit down to meditate, that's where you return to your thoughts. It's the same thing what happens when you're driving. When you're distracted and you're driving, you're not driving. And you start drifting in the lane if you receive a text message, or if you're singing too much because you're listening to the music, or if somebody else cuts you off and you're too angry, what are you doing? Are you not focused on driving anymore? It's the same aspect as meditation. It's the same aspect as praying. It's the same aspect as healing. What becomes more important for you then? Is it your anger? Is it this new thought that comes in meditation? Is it what you need to buy at the store when you're healing someone, or when channeling? Okay, although you are in particular are not a channeler, when that other idea comes in, what helps you stay focused on that stream of consciousness that is the channel? It's the same thing. A stream of consciousness is healing. A stream of consciousness is meditation. A stream of consciousness is the creativity of a potter at the wheel, or a painter, or a singer, or a songwriter, or anybody. What are you doing now, and how are you staying on task? This on task is simply a vibration. It's the creative stream that you're on. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much. You answer my question. It's the end, I think, of this webinar. And I would like if you can give us a blessing and I don't know, other blessing to anyone else. Like Karen, thank you.
Oh.
A blessing from the golden light. Most of it is going to come through this human's hands. There is a high-pitched tone that some can hear. And there's a human aspect that we can engage in language Oh. 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 Blessings. Many of your crowns have opened.
Thank you so much. We are at the top of the hour, so we will end with your blessing. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming today and giving us and sharing with us your information.
This is Sushi. Is it over? Is it time
Yeah.
for Will to come back?
Yes, it is time for Will to come back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. And grand and joyous timelines and nows to all of you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Okay.
I'm in the sun. Let me
Thank
move
you.
to the shade. That's the joy of being outside. How was it?
Krishnapriya had to step out. She had to step out, so I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar. Sushi did, or one of them did, the Golden Light people did an ending blessing. It is
Excellent.
1 o'clock, and so we can just go ahead and end with that. Thank you, Will. Next week we'll have Jim. We'll be back, and then will be coming once a month. So stay tuned in 4 weeks for Will to come back. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing